What's up everyone, Steve here again from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. There's heaps of cool stuff just like this guy. Now this is going to be a fairly quick video. You would have seen, or I hope you have seen, if you haven't, I'll leave some cards or some links down below if you want to go check out the videos. These here are the TOYAN motors. Now this one here is the FS L200. Then you have this one here, which is the FS S100, I believe. So this is a single cylinder. This is the dual cylinder, and then you have this one here, which is probably the best one I have, or the largest capacity. This is the FS V400, so it's a 4-cylinder in a V format. So they're all 4-stroke nitro engines. They do come in the normal gas, but they still need oil. They don't have its own separate oil tank, or it's like a sump. They all need oil in the fuel. Now I think I qualify to be pretty well established and have a fair bit of knowledge on how to do these conversions. Now this one here is my rat rod. Now I'll leave the link for the 4-cylinder, the 2-cylinder and the single cylinder down below if you want to go check them out. But this one here is the rat rod, so I got pretty familiar with how to convert these from just a static display piece into a car. So while I did this video, I want to know your feedback on what you would like to see in these TOYAN engines, what you'd like improved, or some feedback on what you think might be a good option in the near future. Now when you get these engines, you need to get electronics, the clutch, the mounts, the fuel, all that kind of stuff to get it running. It's not as easy as an electronic, normal brushless or brushed RTR. These take a lot of, finesse and a lot of fiddling to get them where you see now, but in my opinion, that's part of the fun. As you see here, this is a 4-cylinder, 2-cylinder and the single. Now they do have a new, I think it's called the L400, which is an inline 4-cylinder, which looks wicked. Hopefully I can get that in my hands as well and do another conversion, because I have some few cars here that I'd like to convert, but quickly on that later. Okay, first thing I would like to see, as these engines don't have their own sump, they don't have their own oil reservoir, they rely on the oil within the fuel. So once the fuel burns, the oil lubricates all the parts, the excess comes out this little pink tube here. Now normally what happens, like I've done with the 2-cylinder, I've plumbed it up into this little container. Once it gets full, I empty it out. But what would be a great idea, if this pink, or the tubing, went up into the head here and it lubricated the valves and the camshaft. Once it does all that, it comes back out here into a little tank just like this. I think that would be a great idea. I think Daniel Hernandez has already done that on one of his builds with the FS, the 2-cylinder one here, and it works pretty well. But I think they should do that from the factory. Let me know what you guys think about that. Alternatively, if they had its own sump with oil, that'd be fantastic as well, and then you can just use the gasoline version and not have to put your own oil in there like you do with a lawnmower or a whippersnipper. Next up is all the electronics. Now there are the gasoline version, which runs on a spark plug. The ones that are most popular are the ones here that require a glow plug. Now with any glow plug, once it gets ignited, it stays ignited because of the compression and it doesn't need to be lit. But with the igniters that come with the kit, so these are the ones here, they are massive, and with the 2-cylinder ones like that, you need 2 of them. 4-cylinder one, you need 4 of them. Check out that. Check how many there are, so you can just see the how annoying it is. So what I would like to see, if they could make these smaller, that'd be important. So kind of, if you get the 2-cylinder, have like a pack where you buy the 2-cylinder FS L200, you get a pack that has the brushless ESC, which is this guy, because it has a brushless motor on the side. As you can just see here, it's the same as the one on this car as well. If it has a brushless motor and obviously 2 igniters or 1 igniter for this. And not just that, you can say, hey, they do sell that. Yes, they do, right here. But what I want to see is once it ignites, it's got some smarts in the electronics. When the engine gets a little bit warm, it turns off the glow plug, so doesn't keep feeding power or using up the battery to ignite the glow plug. Because once it started, it doesn't need it, and all it needs once it starts, the ESC spins a little brushless motor, kicks into gear, it ignites, give it a few seconds, it warms up, it turns off. So I think some smarts in the electronics will be fine, will be really handy actually for all of this, because it's just massive, like you can see. Just look at that. It's just really big. Exhaust will be another nice improvement. When you get these, they normally they have this, well, this one has a power boost box, it's called. On the 2-cylinder, it's just got the manifold and coming out. I'd like there to be options from TOYAN to make exhaust, or make it easier to attach an exhaust like here. Now, currently I have just these copper pipes with silicone hosing tube attached to the stock manifold there, and you know, it works well. But I like to see some exhausts which have a whole system that it can easily be attached, you know, to the motor itself, not just with this old school technique, tubing and some cable ties. I think that'd be handy if we could figure something out there. Now, with any nitro car, it's not as easy to brake and go into reverse, because there is no reverse. You need to have brake with an electronic or electric car. It's all in the ESC, the motor goes the opposite direction. With nitro, you need a gearbox. Now, I've shown these all the time, and I really recommend these. These are the Traxxas Revo 3.3 gearboxes. Now, why they're good? 2 speeds forward, 2 speeds reverse, and it does have a brake. Now, I've used these in this particular build. I used it when I had the single cylinder in here as well. They work really, really well. And I also used it in the rat rod build. Now, there are other options as well. There is this one here that you can buy, which is just a single, you know, forward, 1 gear forward, 1 gear reverse, and it does have neutral. Pretty good, it works well. Now, the issue I'm having with these is because they are so torquey, because they're 4-stroke, there is just not enough speed in the gearboxes. Now, these are 2 speeds, but I'd like to see other options. There is a 3-speed forward, single reverse. It's called a 4-speed gearbox. You can get that similar to that single speed over there. But I'd like to see something like this, purposely built for these cars, because you need a brake. That's the main thing. You need a brake as well. Otherwise, you've got to retrofit them on the hubs or something like that, and that is really damn hard to do. So, a gearbox will be fantastic. Now, I'm having trouble with this. I've tried to gear it as best as I can to get some speed. So much torque, it just pulls away, but it runs out of chooch. Now, I'm not just saying that. You know, the RPMs are fine. They do rev out quite high. This revs to like 14,000 or something, I believe. Pretty damn high, similar to this as well. So the speed is there. We need a gearbox to get these guys up and running, and you know, just make it easier. You know, a gearbox. Could you imagine a gearbox where it's for speed and also has a crawling gear? Because this will be perfect. I see potential in nitro, if we could do something like that with a crawling gear. So this does crawl, yes, but you need to rev it a bit. So a crawling gear alongside the normal gearbox would just be really cool. I think if a manufacturer can figure that out, we'll have a winner on our hands, because people do like this. I love my electric stuff, but I do love gas. I just love the smell. So I think that's a big one, a gearbox to suit. I think that'll really help. Now, the clutches in these normally come with aluminium clutch shoe. They're the 2-shoe clutch, and they seem to work fine. So, you know, I think the main thing would be a gearbox that would help immensely with the capabilities that you can do. You can do crawling, high speed, or even just something like this in between. And I always get asked, turbocharger, supercharger, wouldn't that be cool? Imagine a supercharger or turbo for one of these guys. I don't think it'd be that hard, but I think a supercharger, if enough of you people wanted and asked for it, I'm pretty sure TOYAN or some other manufacturers could think about that and actually implement it. Because wouldn't a turbo be really cool? A turbocharger on one of these small cars. You've got Johnny Q90 who makes them, but yeah, that'd be sweet. Now, while I was looking at this, I remember the 4-cylinder is not too bad. It's got a single carburetor, which is fine. Obviously, the single one does. But this guy here is got dual carb, so it's pretty hard to tune. So definitely in the future, I think a single carb would be beneficial. And on the carbs, they've got this weird opening. It's not circle. It's like a what would you call it? Like an oval. And it's really hard to get the stock. As you can see here, stock air filter on there. It just slips off because of the shape. They're all normally cylindrical, round. And I've tried other ones with that a slight oval, and they just slip off. So something like that would be beneficial. And if anything, if you want to keep these, you kind of like put a lip. On here, so it's got somewhere to grab and doesn't just slide off. So I think that's quite an easy one there to fix. But apart from that, like the cooling and everything is fine. The fan works really well. A lot of people ask how they cooled. Just cooled via the fan, and it runs really well. I think I've touched on it before, but it would be fantastic if they had their own oil reservoir like a normal car. You know, fill up the sump and it gets, you know, around the engine. That'll be really cool. And then you could just have the gasoline version where you just run pure, you know, fuel, same as you use in your normal car. Run some oil in there, and you wouldn't have to worry about the fuel. You wouldn't have to worry about a oil exit here or anything like that. It'll be just a lot. It'll be a lot cleaner as well. Definitely a lot cleaner, because they are nitro. They do get messy, but that's also part of the fun. So I don't want to keep it too long, but that's some of my suggestions. Please, I really want you guys to put them down below so they can see what should be improved. Obviously, more opinions, the better, definitely, because, you know, they are definitely fun, and I want these to continue in your hobby. I just think they're really cool, and they sound so great as well. Just look at them, it just looks mad. Just look better once I get a body. But you got the 4-cylinder, and this is a new Sen F450, and you can definitely put, look how much room you have here. You can definitely put a 2-cylinder in there. And this is a new one from JLB. This is their new crawl, and it's a 1/8 scale as well, so same scale as that. So definitely I want to do some more conversions. I would love to get that, I think it's L400, which is a 4-cylinder inline in the near future, but that'd be pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think. I really want to hear you guys' opinions, because it's just me, single voice here, but like Daniel's already done that mod by himself, and Dennis has done it as well with the head. So the oil going in, it's just reusing the oil. I think it's a great idea. Not going to leave you too much longer. Hope you enjoyed the quick video. Let me know what you think. If you haven't, please subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.